oftentimes we start to feel this emptiness deep within. We may have lots of stuff, right? Maybe you have a nice house, you got nice cars, you got nice clothes, you're even in a nice, wonderful relationship, but you'll still something is elusive. It eludes you. There's this hole deep within, and no matter how much you keep trying to fill it with external things, it never seems to get full. Well, if your reality is being created based on your programming, which is determining expectations of what you think your life should look like, you're going to continue to try to fill that cup. And it's just like there's a hole in it. It's never going to get full. You're going to maybe work more. Maybe you're going to go back to school and get educated even further. And keeping yourself distracted to try to maintain this vision of a life that is based on expectations, based on programming. That will lead to an unfulfilling life. You hear so many times about people who are in their 70s, in their 80s, they have all these regrets. They feel like maybe they should have done something different, and they may have been super incredibly busy and incredibly successful from society's perspective, right? Maybe they made a lot of money, have all the nice things, they travel all the time, whatever that looks like. But that is an expectation based on society and societal norms. That doesn't always lead to a fulfilling life. Before you get to those later stages in life, how wonderful would it be for you to be able to hit the pause button for a few minutes, weeks, months, right? And really lean in and decide what it is that you truly want to be doing with your life. Not what your programming says, not what others are telling you, not what you've heard growing up, but what you truly want to do with your life. And I know that may be elusive. A lot of us really don't know what we want to be doing with our life. And that's because we've never really taken the time to stop, get away from all of the noise of the doing and grinding it out all these hours and getting more educated. We've never taken a pause from that to really sit, give ourselves the space to reflect on what our life should look like. What's the soul purpose? What's my soul's purpose? Right? And that takes being able to detach from all of that noise and giving yourself that space to be able to allow that to come through. So once you start to do that, something very interesting happens. You start to be able to see or perceive all of the things that were once important to you. I'm talking all the material things. You start to see them as just things, right? Maybe there was an emotional attachment to them at one point. Maybe you were just felt like you were in the house of your dreams, or you had the car of your dreams, or maybe it's your jewelry, whatever that looks like for you. You had this emotional attachment to you. There was a program running within that said this equals success, which then validates me within societal's norms. But that does not create fulfillment deep within. So when you can start to create that space, hit the pause button, start to look around and reflect and say, yeah, I've got all these things that society told me was important, but it really doesn't mean a whole lot deep within. That's your first step, really, to start to detach from all of the physicality. Now, when we take a step back from the physical reality, we start to create space to allow for the non-physical to come forward. So your higher self starts to drop messages in, information forward. What really lights you up? Maybe you start to experience some opportunities that really gets your blood moving, really gets your energy moving. It really excites you. And maybe you take a small step in a direction of doing something that continues to feed that fire. And you know what? You realize that fulfills me. That feels completely different than these decades of grinding that I've been doing to accumulate all of these things that, are they're going to be left here. I can't take them with me when I'm done, right? When I exit this life, there are things, okay? So you start to realize by creating that space and slowing it down, and sometimes creating that space looks like pulling away from the life you've been living, slowing it down, and allowing yourself to just be, allowing yourself to just experience you, to sit in presence, to meditate, to breathe into your body, to feel that programming, that emotional tie to the old timeline, the old ways of being, the constantly having to do, the constantly having to produce, all of those things that led to an unfulfilled version of you. That's going to come up when you stop doing all of those things. It's going to rise up within a big way from within. That is your opportunity to fully lean in and feel that energy, not align with it. Don't get back to the doing right away, but sit and fully feel it. Allow yourself to alchemize that energy. Allow yourself to detach from the physical and lean in to the non-physical. I'm talking about the quantum field, the 0 point field, whatever you want to term it, right? Find that space of stillness. That old identity, again, is going to be like a gatekeeper and not want to allow you to get there, because once you slow down, the mind really kicks up saying, you got to get back to work. You got to get back to what we've been doing. We have this expected future that we need to continue manifesting. You need to pull back and allow yourself to feel that and maintain a state of presence. Breathe with it, love it. That is an aspect of you that was surviving the best way it knew how, the best way it could. That was according to expectation. In order to free you from that and land your purpose, you need to first create that space. That means hitting the pause button, slowing it down. Maybe you slow it down for a few days, maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months, to allow yourself to re-stabilize within your body. Feel all of that density, heal all of that programming, make it all conscious. When you slow down, it's all going to come up in your awareness. So the slowdown is an opportunity to allow you to bring that forward and reflect on it and feel it and find yourself within the quantum field. We go, no mind, and you stay there as long as it takes until you start to become the new you. You start to become the quantum being. You start to ground, embody your higher self, detached from the ways of the old and available and ready to start moving forward in the ways of the new. You start to receive little nuggets, little synchronicities of information. You start to receive little breadcrumbs from your higher self. Opportunities start to pop up that weren't there before. Maybe they were there, but you weren't perceiving them, right? Because you were focused over here. They didn't exist in your reality. Now they're there because you've created the space, you've slowed it down, you've peeled it back, and now you're looking at things from a greater perspective. You're able to spot opportunities as they come your way. This gives you the ability to take a step into those opportunities, one by one by one, and actually determine what lights you up. When you find something that resonates, that feels good, the next opportunity on the heels of that starts to appear. You follow that. If it doesn't work out for you, you pull it back, you sit, and you wait for the next one to come forward. You take a step in that direction. You are truly being guided by your higher self. We go back to the old way of being. You are being guided by your programming, by your ego, by others. They are in control. Their expectations that they have placed on you are controlling your life. That's why you can never find fulfillment, because you're grinding it out, working all sorts of hours, just all sorts of time spent in the classroom, whatever it is for you. All of this energy is going into maintaining a lower frequency reality that is based on external expectations. When you could peel away from that, slow it down, get into the body, stay there as long as it takes, feel, listen to, experience all the noise that the ego's going to throw your way saying, get back to what we were doing, because that's what's known. Maintain space, fully feel it, bring that energy back into the body, create perspective, create space, and allow for all of that wonderful new to start to drop in and guide you. You will be present. You will be anchored. You will be grounded. You will have a purpose, and you will follow that purpose as those opportunities manifest right before your eyes. You will find that you are free, completely free from the programming and the noise that kept you in a lower frequency reality.